Hello students, today I have an assignment from Tandil Biscuit and Melanson School and we are going to do a few questions from it. Starting with question number 2, which states factorize 2x square plus y square plus az square minus 2 root 2xy plus 4 root 2xy minus 8xz. We know that this question is from last exercise, the polynomials, and this is to be solved using identities. First thing is that there's a mistake in printing, and that is it is not xy here. Xy is already mentioned. Rather, it is yz. For students, is to be noted that you will have to correct it. Instead of writing xy here, you will write down this as a yz. So it is 4 root 2 of yz. Keep that in mind. Correct this mistake first. Now, coming to the question, if you look at the question, it has 3 squares in it, and there is only one identity that has 3 squares in it. That is a plus b plus c whole square, which is equal to a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca. And that is what this expansion is all about. This is actually a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca. But you can see that there are negatives and this is not a perfect square. So we will have to arrange this first into the proper identity. So to do that, I have to convert this into a whole square, and which I later can call as my a square. Now 2 is not a perfect square, so how can I convert this into whole square? We know that when it is a number which is non-perfect square and you have to convert into a whole square, you use square root for that. So I am going to write down this as root 2, and then there is x, and then there is whole square. If you evaluate this, what you will get back is x whole square is x square, and for root 2, root and 2 square will get cancelled, root and square will get cancelled, and you will get 2 back. So there is only change in form, there is no change in the value. So this way we converted this into a whole square, and we can call this as my a square. Then this is y square as it is, and then this is again az square is not a perfect square, so I will have to convert this using the root of 8 and then z and then whole square. Okay, so we are done converting these into perfect square. So this is a square, b square, c square. Now I want to look onto this. I will just focus on these three terms. So if this is my a square plus b square then c square, then it should satisfy the remaining terms of the identity. What are the remaining terms? 2ab, 2bc, 2ca. It should automatically satisfy it. So now let's see if it satisfies. The next term is plus 2ab. So instead of a, this is my a, I will write down root 2x. Instead of b, I write down y. So let's see if it really fits the given question. It is 2 root 2 xy. Look at this, 2 root 2 xy. Sign is not satisfied yet. We will look into this later. Let's first equalize the terms. So it is 2 root 2 xy, 2 root 2 xy. Next, it is as per the identity. Next term is 2bc, 2ab, next term is 2bc, so it is 2b, which is y, and then third term c, which is root 8z. So this as per the identity is 2bc. Now let's see if it is equalized the given question. It is 2 root 8yz, but if you look at the given question, it is 4 root 2yz. Here it is 2 root 8 and z, but it is yz, then it is 4 root 2 yz. That means these two terms are not equalizing. Have we done anything incorrectly? No, it is all correct. Only there is a change in the form. What is the change in form? If you see root 8, it can be evaluated as a root of 4 into 2. Instead of 8, I wrote down 4 into 2. Now, instead of having a single root, I can write down this in the individual form, that is root of 4 into root of 2. I can divide the root between the two numbers. We know that root of 4 is 2 because 4 is a perfect square. So root of 4 equals to 2. That is 2 root 2. That means root of 8 can be also written in the form of 2 root 2. Their value is exactly same. So whether you write down root 8 or you write down 2 root 2, it is exactly writing the same thing. So what we'll do in our question, that is what he has done. He has changed the root, he has simplified it. So instead of writing root 8, we will write down here we will write down this as 2 root 2 and z square. So here also it will be then 2 root 2 z. Now let's see if the terms are equal. So it is 2 into 2 is 4, then there is root 2, then there is y and z. So it is 4 root 2 yz. 4 root 2 yz, it is equalized. So there was no this correction, there is only change in the form that we have done. And as per the identity, what is the third term? It is, we know the first term is 2ab, second is 2bc, third term is 2ca. That is 2c, what is c over now? 2 root 2 z, and a, what is a? A is root 2x. Let's see if this is correct according to the question. This gives us 2 root 2 4, got it? 2 root 2 4, and then root 2 into root 2. These are to be multiplied. This 2, this 2, this root 2, this root 2. We know that 2 into 2 is 4, and root 2 into root 2 is root 2 square, like a into a square, b into b square. So root 2 into root 2 is root 2 square. Square and root gets cancelled, so we get only 4 into 2, that is 8. So that means these numbers 2, 2, root 2, root 2, when simplified, they give us 8. So it is 8, then z and x, 8, x and z. So that is it. So it is equal now. So we have changed the form to 2a, this a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca correctly. So terms are done. But there's a thing that their signs are not corrected yet. There are signs, there are negative signs that are to be corrected. So let's look upon that now. So if there are two negatives, that means one of our terms, either A, B or C, it was negative. Someone was negative. To find out that who was negative, you will find out that variable which is common in both the negative terms. So let's see which are the negative terms. This is a negative term and this is a negative term. Now look upon its variables. It has two variables, x and y. It has two variables, x and z. So x is a common variable in both the negative term. X is here and x is also here. X is a common term. So this is x which actually made these two terms negative. So the negative sign comes because of x. So wherever in your identity there is an x, you have to place a negative sign there. So negative sign here, negative sign here, and negative sign here. So minus plus becomes minus, that is this minus, and here minus plus becomes minus, and that is this minus here. So now you have correctly converted the given question into the form of a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca, which can be written down as a plus b plus c whole square. So that means this statement over here can be written down as a plus b plus c whole square. So that is converted into identity. You know, you can write down that square twice and you will get the factorization. So it is done. Hopefully you understood this. Our next question is from linear equation in two variables, and it is regarding that taxi fare. It is a famous question in there. Let's do it. So you have been given that the taxi fare in a city is as follows. For the first kilometer the fare is rupees 8, and for the subsequent distance it is rupees 5 per kilometer. Taking the distance covered as x kilometer and total fare as y, write a linear equation for this information and draw its graph. So it has been given to you that you have to take total distance covered as x and total fare as y. Also, if you travel only for the first kilometer, if you travel only 1 kilometer, you have to give rupees 8. If you go beyond that, you have to give rupees 5 extra. That means if you travel 2 kilometers, for the first kilometer you will pay rupees 8 and for the next you will pay rupees 5. That is total 13. If you travel 3 kilometers, for the first kilometer you will pay 8 rupees and for the remaining two you will pay 5, then again 5. That is a total of 18 in there. So we have to write down a linear equation for it. So it is given to us that fare paid for the first kilometer is rupees 8. Now the total kilometers you have traveled are x. So you have traveled x. So let's say from here to here it is x kilometers. Now out of this you have paid fare for how many kilometers? 1 kilometer. So out of x kilometers, you have paid fare for 1 kilometer. Now can you tell me this much distance, what is this remaining distance? Total was x. You took out 1 from it, 1 kilometer from it. So the remaining distance is x minus 1. Because total was x, you paid fare for 1 kilometer. So the number of kilometers for which you have to pay the remaining fare is x minus 1. 1 taken away from x. So we will write down the remaining distance equals to x minus 1 kilometers. So now for the first kilometer you paid 8, that is from the x. The first kilometer you paid x. For the remaining kilometers, x minus 1 kilometers, you have to pay rupees 5. So fare paid for x minus 1 kilometers equals to, for 1 kilometer you pay 5, for 2 kilometers you will pay 2 into 5, for 3 kilometers you will pay 3 into 5, for x minus 1 kilometers you will pay, yes, 5 into x minus 1 kilometers. Okay, rupees, sorry. Okay, so what you do is, for the first kilometer you paid rupees 8 and for the remaining x minus 1 kilometers you paid rupees 5. So the total fare you paid is this amount. This is for the subsequent kilometers and this is for the first kilometer. So the total fare is this much rupees plus rupees 8. Rupees 8. So we'll write down total fare we paid is, first we paid rupees 8, then for as many kilometers we traveled we paid rupees 5. Since I traveled for x minus 1, I paid 5 into x minus 1. Now as per the question, total fare is equal to y. It was given the question, you have to assume total fare is y. So instead of total fare I can write down y equals to 8 plus, this is 5 into x means 5x, 5 minus 1 is, 5 into minus 1 is minus 5. Simplifying further, this gives y equals to 8 minus 5 is 3 plus 5x. Now if you look at this carefully, this has two variables in it and this equation is a linear. So this is a linear equation in two variables. So for now you can draw its graph easily. Hopefully you understood this. Again, next question is from a linear equation in two variables where you have been given an equation, but the equation is only in one variable. So you have to draw its graph in one variable as well as in two variable. That means you should have two equations. One equation should be in one variable, which is over here, and the second equation should be in a two variable to plot the graph. Now, when you have to plot the graph for a one variable, you know that linear equation one variable gives you a single point. So you will simplify this for x, and you are going to do it like this. 2x equals to minus 9. It gives you x equals to minus 9 by 2, which gives you x equals to minus 4.5. So this is a single point that you are going to plot on your graph. So this representation will be called as a representation of linear equation in one variable. Now for the same equation, we have to represent the same equation in two variables. How to do that? First, we will introduce one more variable in it to convert this into two variable. Now, we cannot change its value. That is not to be done in mathematical equations, because we will have to add on both sides or subtract on both sides. So, if we have to change the form without change in value, we will do something like this. 2x plus 0 into y equals, and then plus 9 also, plus 9 equals to 0. Now if you look at this, this is an equation in two variables. You can see that x is there, y is there, but the value is not changed because 0 into y makes it again 0, or there is no value for it. So this is still unchanged in terms of value, but in terms of form, its form has changed. This is now an equation in two variable. So what you will do here is, now you will substitute the values of y and obtain the values of x. That is, you will substitute the value of y as 1, obtain the value of x. You will substitute the value of y as 2, obtain the value of x, and so on. Don't worry, you will always get the same value. Don't worry that what is happening. It will always give you same value because its value is not mentioned in here. So it will always give, it is 0 in here, it will always give the same value. Once you get those points, then you have to plot those points on the graph, and that will give you a linear equation in a two variable graph. Thank you. This question is from linear equation in two variable, and this is a pretty straightforward question. It says that Yamini and Fatima, two students of class 9, contributed to rupees 100 towards the Prime Minister Relief Fund. Write a linear equation. So Yamini made some contribution, Fatima made some contribution, and when their contributions are added, it gives us 100. We don't know how much contribution they have made, so we will assume it. I will say let contribution of Yamini be x and contribution of Fatima be y. So the amount of rupees, you can write down this as x rupees and y rupees. So Yamini paid x rupees towards the contribution or towards the fund, and Fatima paid rupees y. So I can say that when their contributions are added, it gives us rupees 100. That is, when x and y is added, it gives us rupees 100. Now according to the question is that if we add their contributions, if we add x and y, it gives us 100. Now looking at that, you will find that this is a linear equation in a two variable, which you can plot on a graph. Thank you. Next question is also from linear equation two variable. It says that the cost of pen is thrice the cost of a pencil. Write the linear equation. Write linear equation two variables to represent this statement. So you say that there is pen and pencil. Simply, pen and pencil, and pen has more cost than a pencil. Pencil is cheaper than pen. How much more cost does pen have? It has 3 times the cost of a pencil. So if we can say that the cost of pencil is x and the cost of pen is y, we can say that the cost of pen, which is y, is 3 times the cost of pencil, that is x. Simply, so y equals to 3x. That gives our equation. Let me write this down. So we'll write down, let cost of one pencil be X and cost of one pen be Y. So they said that the pen is costlier than pencil. How much? 3 times that of pencil. The cost of pen is 3 times the cost of pencil. So can write down y equals to 3 into x. So this is a linear equation in two variables. This can be also written as y minus 3x equals to 0 by transposing 3x. And that is it. You are done. Our next question is question number 8, which says that give the equations of two lines passing through 5, 4. So you have to give equations of two lines passing through 5, 4. Although this is a very in-depth question, but since it is mentioned in very short answer type, so we will cope up with that condition here. So if you have a point 5, 4, let's say this is 5, 4 point. Through this point, I can draw infinitely many lines, also called as concurrent lines. Through this single point, I can draw infinitely many lines. And out of those infinitely many lines, I had to give equation of just two lines. There can be infinitely many lines pass through 1 point. I have to give equation of just two such lines. How to do this? It is pretty simple. We know that the equation, linear equation two variable in general form is written as ax plus by equals to c. This is linear equation in two variables. Now it says that the lines must always pass through 5, 4. That means the value of x should be always 5 and the value of y should be always 4. That's it. It should be always kept 5 and 4. So if we write down this in this manner, you will get equation something like this: a into 5 plus b into 4 equals to c, or simply 5a plus 4b equals to c. Now this is the general equation of those infinitely many lines. You can substitute infinitely many values for a and b and they will give you infinitely different lines. So let's say these lines, this line will have different values of a and b, this will have different values of a and b, this will have different values of a and b. So now you have the choice: substitute as many values for a and b, obtain the value of c, and you can get as many equations as you want. For example, I will do 1 here. I will substitute the value of a as 1, b I will substitute as 1. This will give me 5 into 1 plus 4 into 1 equals to c. That is, adding this up, you will get c equals to 9. So when you keep a as 1, when you keep b as 1, you get c as a 9. So you can write down an equation is 1 into x plus 1 into y equals to 9. So you see what I have done? I have taken the general form and instead of a, I substituted 1. Instead of b, I substituted 1. Instead of c, I substituted a 9. So this gives x plus y equals to 9. So this is one such equation that passes through 5, 4. So this is how you do this. Now if you substitute the values of here, anything like 1 and 4, any number you want, you can get the value of c, substitute here, and you will get as many equations as you want. These are the equation lines actually that pass through this single point. Thank you. Next question is question number 9, which states that if the point 3 comma 4 lies on the graph of the equation 3y equals to x plus 7, find value of a. So this point here 3 comma 4 lies on the graph of this equation. So we have a line like this is the graph of, let's say, this, and 3 comma 4 lies on this graph. We know that if 3 comma 4 lies on this line, then this point belongs to this line. That is, this point is the coordinate of this line. Or we can say in terms of algebraic equations, we can say that this point is actually a solution of this equation. Yes, 3 comma 4 is the solution of this equation because it lies on its graph. And if it is solution, that means it must satisfy it. That means in a stead of x, if I substitute 3, in a stead of y, if I substitute 4 in here, then the equality still holds. That means LHS and RHS will still remain equal. They will be still equal. And that is what I will do. I will write down the equation first. 3y equals to ax plus 7. So if I substitute, when x equals to 3 and y equals to 4, the equality will still hold. That is 3 in a stead of y, 4 in a stead of a as it is, x I can write down 3 plus 7. I can still write down this equality because this is the solution. 3 comma 4 is the solution of this equation, and you know that solution जो है वो it still satisfies the equality. It maintains the equality. So simplifying this, and you will get the value of a. That is transposing values here and there, and you will get the value of a.